And no doubt we'll see you again tomorrow morning. All right, 25 minutes before 9, the Communication Ministry is this week embarking on a rollout of digital technology in the Vhembe district of Limpopo. This in a bid to bridge the digital divide between urban and rural South Africa and to promote cybercrime awareness. The drive will see various digital services unveiled at public facilities, and it is hoped that this will go a long way in achieving the vision of building a capable skill set for the impending fourth industrial revolution. Joining us now in studio, we've got the Deputy Communication Minister, Pinky Kekana. Good to have you.
Good morning, Leanne, and good morning to our viewers.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming in. So, first things first, let's take a look at a couple of the deadlines that we've missed. And we have, as a country, we've missed particularly the migration to DTT. What is the latest on that front?
Well, one of the things that made the president to realign the department was to also make sure that we refocus the department in as far as migration is concerned, but also repositioning the department towards 4IR. The latest is that, Leanne, we met with industry, we met as the department to look at the capacity to deal with DTT. Partly is that we don't have manufacturing capacity ready to assist us to roll out the set-top boxes, something that we will be discussing with all our manufacturers very soon. That's one. But two is that we now are having a session with all the players in the industry to make sure that how best can we fast-track some of these things. So our initial agreement was towards the end of 2019, which we also want to stick to, given if we have capacity to locally manufacture, especially the set-top boxes.
Yeah, we hope so, because I think any more deadlines, it's just not good for South Africa. And of course, those set-top boxes that were initially rolled out, what's become of that? I mean, I know that those don't work.
Well, we can proudly say now, because we have switched off in Senegal, the offtake is now improving in our postal services, and the program around the Free State is towards conclusion on the migration side.
All right, so this week's digital rollout in Limpopo, what's happening now? Talk to us about what is going to be the process today.
Look, this is an initiative by government between Broadband Infraco and SA Connect and our municipalities in the area to work towards rolling out broadband infrastructure towards government institutions, schools and clinics as part of driving the fourth industrial revolution. Remember, with 4IR there must be connectivity and there must be infrastructure, there must also be digital skills. So one of the things we are looking at is to make sure that the rural far-flung areas also get connected through broadband, but also to say we're now talking e-education, e-health, and 4IR is speaking to some of those things. Now we want to see our schools connected, especially in those rural areas, so that they too can then be able to have access to smart classrooms.
Yeah. I mean, I remember, I think it was back in October last year, where the then Minister, Nomvula Mokonyane, went out into the Free State and did the same thing, and saying that this would be the first province that will switch from analog to DTT, to digital. The progress there?
There is good progress. Like I told you, Senegal is one of the areas around the Free State, and it has been completely switched off, and there are programs to roll it out. The only area that will remain is the Mangaung city, where we'll do the switch off later, but already our team is on the ground to make sure that we work towards switching off the whole of the Free State. And we are there with all role players in the industry, the SABC, ETV and all others, because it's not only us and Centec, it's not only one player in the whole area. So all of us are there, including MultiChoice, to make sure that once we do switch off from analog to DTT, we are able to, our people don't see the black screens, but they are able to also access content through.
A lot of people looking on and saying, oh, here we go, this is just another electioneering campaign from our ruling party, particularly when it comes to Limpopo, and will there actually be follow through on all of this? So I suppose this is your opportunity to reassure them if in fact it isn't.
Look, this is the program of government to deliver services. We are obliged, and it is the commitment that we said we are going to do. It's not about electioneering. It's a program that has been there. Go back to our budget speeches and all other things. You'll see the fast tracking of broadband rollout has been one of the initiatives of our government to make sure that our people are connected, but also to make sure that we position them towards the digital economy space. So it's one of those things. And I mean, you have seen how Gauteng has been doing around schools and around clinics and all other public entities. So we're doing the same in all other provinces. That's one. But two, the issue of DTT has been there since the time of Mayor Ivy Matsipika-Sambulu. So it's not something that we're saying we're doing today because it's election, but it has been in the program for government. The only thing now is for us to fast track and make sure, like you said, we have been missing many deadlines. Yeah. Now we are fast tracking and making sure that our people are able to.
I think that's more what it's all about, because it has been around for a while, but we just need to see more progress. What other initiatives are in place? Because there is this fear that rural South Africa is already missing out on technology. We are sitting on the basic, a great move of the fourth industrial revolution, and if we don't move fast on this, the rural areas are going to miss out even more. What other plans are in place?
Look, Leon, central to the 4IR is the issue of digital skills to our people. And it says, currently, we have to look at the current labor force and say, what kind of retraining programs should we embark on? Yeah. That's one. Two, it is also to say, how do we plan for the future? How do we skill our people for the future jobs? Now, one of the things that we are doing is for NEMISA and all other training institutes to come together and say, this is how we have to prepare for the automation for the future jobs. But it also says there should be a program by young people to be innovative and to locate themselves towards doing in the SABC platform is to assist the SABC to have content producers and film producers who will be able to play in the digital space. And that's one of the things. So film producers and all those content producers in the broadcasting side, it's one of the things. Two, it's also for young people to start to bring smart gadgets that can be used, those that are cheaper and those that can be affordable, because between me and you, data is very expensive. Indeed. There's a program by government to make sure that the cost to communicate is reduced, and part of the cost is not only data, but it's also the smart gadgets that are also very expensive, including zero rating. Some of the services that government is producing, especially for students in universities and schools, and once you start to want to access information that is education related, that must be zero rated. So It's quite a number of programs that we're coming up with, the cost to communicate and the innovation activities and all other related things. Yeah.
Finally, before I let you go, and I know that there is a lot when it comes to all of this, and it is important. But I think the latest with the SABC, if you're able to update us, we did see a report coming out yesterday in one of the newspapers, the Business Day, saying that there seems to be a hold now on the retrenchments here at the SABC. From the communications department, do you have an update that you could give us and the nation as well?
Well, I think the decision to hold the the retrenchment is consistent with what the department has been saying, that we have to exhaust all avenues, look at a possibility. Your lights are just...
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. So we have to... the decision is inconsistent with the department to say, let's do the whole skills audit. Let's check who can be placed where, in line with what is coming, the 4IR and everything. And retrenchment must be the last option. Parliament also said that. So what management has said is consistent with what we have been saying. But secondly, the issue of vacancies and other related things in the board lies squarely with Parliament process. So the Portfolio Committee on Communication and the Office of the Speaker and Parliament will be dealing with those, knowing very well that it's a parliamentary process.
Yeah,
and
it
not
certainly
an
is.
In
terms of bailout, the financial position at the SABC is not good at all.
Look, we're not talking bailout, we're talking recapitalizing the SABC, and the process is ongoing. The GTEC and the department and SABC team, it's working around the clock to make sure that National Treasury is able to come up with means to make sure that the SABC is back to its glory.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for talking to us here on the program. Not only updating us on the issues here at the SABC, but also talking to the digital migration, and this week embarking on a rollout of digital technology in Limpopo in the Vhembe district. Thank you very, very much, our Deputy Communications Minister, Kekana. Thank you. Let's take a break.